Hey guys, welcome back to another commentary from a D-list black belt. Just before we begin, awesome, thank you so much guys for all the subscribers. I have broken 100. The last video, I don't know why, but it just gained a lot of traction. So thank you so much guys for all the support. I feel like an actual YouTuber now because I have 107 subscribers or something, so that's cool. That's awesome. So today I've got a little bit of a throwback match for you, a bit time limited. So I thought I would do Hoger versus Bernardo Faria in the 2009 World Championships. Now, for those who don't know, I believe that Bernardo Faria, he's a bit of a meme channel. He's like referenced a lot with I'm here for X, Huajana for me. That, is his own YouTube channel. A really, really nice guy. Absolute savage beast on the mats, and Hoger is he's the greatest we've ever seen ever, in my opinion. And so we'll just get into it. I'll mute this, and then we'll just go. Just move these out of the way so I can see what's going on. All right, so we got a pretty substantial height difference. I've actually met Hoger in person before, I'm 6'3", and he towered over me, so he's like 6'6", something like this. And I believe Bernardo Faria is actually also a world champion. And you can see the difference in their body language. Hoger's just chilling. Bernardo Faria is trying to hype himself up, but Hoger's just another day in the office. He's obviously wary, but not concerned. And so already you can see like this backstep because Hoger reads that situation so well. It kind of looked like when you play this that Hoger's getting caught off guard, but Hoger's ability to read situations is so good, and he would know that Faria's favorite position is half guard, right? And Bernardo's like so good from half guard is how he won all of his matches for world championship. I believe he's a world champion. I could be wrong. And so he launches into it, and Hoger just very simply goes, okay, I'm just going to grab on, slap, redirect you in as I start swinging the back leg back around the corner. And you can see how he even does like a donkey kick out of the way. So really, it's a very difficult position for Bernardo to start in already, and Hoger's just not allowing it. So you can see how there's actually a disconnect. And then I believe Hoger just sprawls on him in topside control. Yeah, so Bernardo tries to like roll up and in, and Hoger just like drops and kicks his legs out, and now it's very, very difficult. And Bernardo hunts in for the half guard, and he's not really managing it. His head's now being attacked. He's got this underhook and he's trying to grab the hips to heave upwards. You can see how... actually, let's put a pin in that thought and I'll come back to it. Hoger's knee is really stopping this foot from going through this way, swinging back over and hooking into this half guard. And Hoger, you see how he's like leaning off to the right here, and he's hooking the leg. It makes it very difficult for Faria to do much movement, and the head's already attacked and quite exposed. So with this underhook placement, I find it quite interesting, the very stark difference in grappling methodology, even from only 14 years ago. I say only 14, but it's not like it's 50 years ago. Nowadays, you'd see this underhook being quite tall up on the back as a way to encourage the shoulders up so that the hips are much more free for you to start moving underneath. Back in the day, you always grab the hips to heave, and I personally believe that this is a more energy inefficient way to go about it. But I just find it quite interesting, the changes. And so Hoger is sprawling in, and you can see how every time Bernardo tried to like move backwards, Hoger would do like a rocking motion. And we'll come back and watch that again. So Bernardo's trying to heave him, and he needs to get that leverage by moving backwards and away. And Hoger's like lifting him, placing him forwards. So Bernardo needs to put the elbow back to keep his frame in, so he can stay in this position. And it's just too hard because Hoger's also lifting the other leg up. It's a very difficult sort of position to play now, especially when you've got someone as good at pressure as Hoger. And you can see how Bernardo's trying the entire time to get forwards and in, so that potentially he can scoop around the back, sweep, etc. So on and so forth. It's really hard to tell what he would be going for because the meta back then is different to what it is today. My sort of thoughts he would be trying to get around the back. And look at sweeping from that way. Very, very tight. Yeah, so with this, it's very interesting to me. So I met Hoger in person, and you can see he sees the opportunity. This Hoger, I don't know if I'm right in saying this, and this is not meant to be disparaging at all, but I genuinely believe he's actually on the spectrum, ASD spectrum, because there's just like, when I spoke to him at least, there was a set way to do things. This is how it is. And he even went as far to tell me that no gi wasn't actually jiu-jitsu, so he didn't care if it was in the Olympics. Only gi was jiu-jitsu, because that's how jiu-jitsu has always been done. Therefore, no gi jiu-jitsu is not actually jiu-jitsu. And I didn't want to argue with him at the time, because I'm like, well, okay, whatever you say, boss, you're the best there is, you know. And my coach, Neil Owen, spent a long time training with Hoger as well, and his experience was very similar in the sense of he just watched Hoger like do nothing but mount cross collar for something like 4 years, and that's how every single one of his rolls would go. And so he just has like this system that he goes for, which is, I want mount, I'm going to take mount, and then I'm going to choke you. And here he sees like Bernardo's head is stuck all the way out, and so it's very difficult for Hoger to, for Bernardo to stop the mount attack when Hoger goes for it, because Hoger's going to be threatening the choke, and so he uses one as a mechanism to get the other. And so you can see how he's heavy and forwards, and he latches on there. You saw him latch on there, and as soon as he latches on, his knees are coming off the floor because there was no half guard at all, and he's going to be driving forwards to flatten Bernardo out. And he's not worried about Bernardo lifting him because he's so long and his hand is free to post, and because he's got the head, he'll just use his head and his other arm to post, like so. And so he's sort of like tricking Bernardo in a way, saying, okay, you can have this, go for it. Because now Bernardo has a superficially very good position, but you can see how deep this is on his neck. And part of the Hoger's massive advantage is because of how long he is, he gets to reach back further than what Bernardo might be expecting. And then he crosses his feet here so that he can't be lifted as high. You can see Bernardo's trying to lift him off to get the sweep and then defend the choke. But look how fucking tight that is, how sunken deep. And something I really enjoy about what Hoger does that a lot of modern athletes don't do is his head goes to the floor as like a smother blanket type pressure, whereas you watch Gordon and his head only goes to the floor when he gets his double unders, but when he's like passing a half guard, it doesn't, sort of thing. Not as much, at least. So that choke's very deep, and Bernardo has to try and move, and as he's moving, you can see how he like lets go to try and bring the hand out to alleviate some pressure, and his guard opens up, and he just allows Hoger the mount, pretty much. But Hoger doesn't care. He's attacking this choke relentlessly, and he's starting to pull it on now because he's got it set. And so you can see how he's using the choke. He's like attacking, alleviating, attacking, alleviating. all the while using this other hand to start looking to get to mount properly. And all the while Bernardo's going to be choking and burning fuel. Again, very interesting difference in the methodology now, right? So if this was Gordon on top, Gordon would 100% be scooping underneath to try and clear the arm, possibly even letting go of the guillotine, whereas Hoger is using the arm to push down as a mechanism with which to pull the choke more. And he's not even worrying about the pass because he recognizes he has the choke attack now. Really, Hoger probably could pass to mount here. He probably could pull out that left foot and start passing to mount. But he just doesn't want to. He's just like attacking the choke relentlessly. The head finally pops out. But that's a lot of juice that Bernardo just burnt in order to get out of that, you know. And he'd be struggling right now, like really struggling. And you can see that Hoger, like again, old teaching, which is it's really fascinating to me. The way that the teaching has changed is that he's focusing on the knee pushing down rather than this arm scooping in for the underhook and then using the opposite leg to weave on top. I find that quite funny how drastically jiu-jitsu has changed in such a short time. But, you know, he can also get away with it because he's so long, that type of thing. And like a lot of very similar stuff that we see is using his head to push Bernardo's head around the corner. Bernardo will be really struggling at the moment. So what Bernardo's trying to do, obviously, is he's trying to use this inside elbow to flare the knee back in between the legs as he brings his knee up, which is why Hoger's like dancing between these 2 points, pulling up and pushing down. And then I believe he launches into the attack pretty quickly, and I think it's an Ezekiel choke. It looks like what he's done is all the while he's been defending these 2 points, he's been getting like his hand pretty deep in the collar, and then he decides to settle again, and then that little hand motion you see just here, where his wrist passes away, right there, that's him allowing space on the gi for his other hand underneath to be grabbing. And then he's going to attack the Ezekiel straight away. And as he comes up, that's an intense amount of leverage now, because this hand is straight. This hand has hold of the sleeve, and then the other arm is in like so, and then the sleeve is like this, you know, and the other hand, hands, elbow, straight arm. So sleeve, hands, elbow was out here, the rest of the arm was like so. As this arm straightens, the sleeve gets pulled in and up, and then because the sleeve is getting pulled down, then up, it like jackknifes. It jackknifes the hand into the neck, and creates like a very nice vice. And I think Hoger just said that absolutely perfectly. And absolutely smash the execution of it. Very, very well done. And so, you know, 3 minutes into it, no points, one advantage. Hoger submits Bernardo Faria, who's much, much better than I am by a wide margin and would absolutely like destroy me in a roll. And he just made it look easy. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this match. Thank you so much again for the 100 subscribers. I know that I'm growing my channel quite slowly, but again, the channel wasn't necessarily for anyone other than me, because I like to learn jiu-jitsu, and I learn by watching, and then I find that speaking out loud is like a way for me to really sink it in. So I'm so grateful that 107 of you have found this really helpful, and are following along with me. Thank you so much, guys. If there's any matches you'd like me to cover next, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll see you with the next one. Cheers, guys.